Slack, brothers. Let me make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, we on. We good. All right, Shalawam, I came out there. First and foremost, before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahawah by Shem, Yahawashi. Yahawah, that's the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. And Yahawashi, that's the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Devon to the apostles, a great millstone, peace and mercy to the elect by Shem Harakak in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, this one right here is going to be response video. Let me see. Response video. Vocab Malone, what is the mark of the beast? And look into the Greek words. All right, so the apostle Tahar basically gave out, the encouragement for brothers to do response videos for this weirdo, the dude and Agent Mark. I call him Agent John Mark Reiser, because that's what he said his real name was. All right, so look, check it out. Since the apostle Tahar gave out the decree for this dude to explain what the mark of the beast, if he has the understanding, he has the way of life, he has the truth, you need to be explaining the mark of the beast so that people could be saving their souls from taking the mark of the beast. All right, so since that point, I've seen the brother in Vegas, brothers in Dallas, brothers all around the world did response videos. But when you go to Vocab Malone's page, this is his page right here. I'm going to refresh it. When you go to this page right here, man, where is his response at, man? He did Great Millstone, the worst of the worst. All right? He still ain't got no response. Why? Because he don't got no response for this. He don't have the truth. He's set up opposition to go against the truth. All right? So what we going to do, I'm finna just, hey, I went into this before. I'm going to go into it again. What is the mark of the beast? And I got some information to show you how the Esau, the Edomites, the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. I have some information showing that they want to use the RFID chip to control your brain. And I went into this before. I'm just going to go into it again. All right, so this is where we get it from. When you jump to the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of the man, it's the number of man, his number is 603 All right, so what is this mark that you will not be able to buy or sell? And how does 666 play into this mark? Well, the first thing you got to do, you have to go to the Greek. Man, we got so many videos on this, it's not even funny. Actually, this is the year of Karagman. That was the title that was given to this year. And Karagman is the word that the first word that's put there for mark. So when you go to mark right here, I think I'm on the wrong verse. Yeah. Yep. When you go to mark right here, let's go to mark. It goes back to the Strong's G. The G represents Greek. 5,480. The Greek word that was registered as 5,480 goes back to the Greek word charagma. Now it says a stamp, implanted mark, a mark stamped in the forehead or in the right hand for the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, a mark branded upon a horse, a thing carved, sculptured, graven work. The mark of the beast is the RFID chip technology. That's what the mark of the beast is. All right. Now, this thing is a thing carved, sculptured. They say it's as a grain of a rice. All right. And it's something that, like it says, a mark branded upon horses. The elites want to put this RFID chip in you to show that they own you. The elites even call this cattle. All right. So that's the first Greek word you get. You get that it's something that's going to brand you, or something that's going to be carved, a thing carved. Now the second Greek word that's behind, because it says from the same as, and I clicked on it, it goes back to the Strong's Greek 5,482, which means karax. Now, Karak goes back to a pale, a stake, a palisade. All right, you can read further down. But why does Karak fit with Karagma? Why does that fit right there? Why is this the root for a thing carved or a branding of something that's branded? Why is a pale or a stake or a palisade played into this same thing? Well, let's see what a palisade or a stake or a pale is. That's what you have to do. So right here, I got what Google opened up. When you type in palisade right here, let's go to images. All right, we don't get nothing from there. Let's go to a stake or a pale, or you know what? We just don't get what the scripture is talking about. Let's go to a stake. There you go. All right, what does that look like? The reason why it goes back to Karagma goes back to Karak's. The reason why is because what is a stake or a palisade? If I type in palisade right here, let me type in palisade. Palisade of a, just say palisade, and I'm gonna type in castle after it. Castle. Palisade of a castle. You see how we now look like more like a stake? All right. A palisade of a castle is the top pointy parts of the castle, man. All right, the roofing of the castle. All right. Or the gate of the castle where you see the palisades at to keep you from climbing a gate. Now, why is a palisade or like it said a stake? Why is this playing in there? Or a pale? Or a matter of fact, let's see what pale is talking about. If you put in pale. All right. It showed the Edomite. Yeah, y'all some fucking pale bastards. It's funny. A pale steak. Oh, damn. Look, it showed what y'all like to eat, too. Fucking, this is what y'all sold y'all birthright for, you Edomites. All right, but going back, though, a steak. All right, now what does that look like? You know what a steak look like? It looks like this. Oh, you know what? Let me see. Let me type in needle first. A needle syringe. Oh, I was spelling it wrong. It's syringe. Syringe. The end of the syringe looked like a stake or a palisade or a pail. And this is the very same device that would be used to put the RFID chip in you, man. This is the very same device. So that's why Karagma goes back to Karak's. All right. Now, let me type in RFID chip implant. Look at that. That's what it is. We've touched on this 1.5 million times. All I'm doing is a review. It's the same thing. There you go right there. That's a man who actually received it with a palisade or a stake or a pill. So that's why the Greek word goes back to Karak's. Now there's even a farther when you go over here in that blue letter root word etymology. It goes back further to another Strong's, and that's Greek, and it's registered under the number 1125, and it goes back to grapho. Why does it go back to grapho? The word grapho means to commit to writings. That's what the word grapho means. All right, as we're gonna read, it says to write down, things not to be forgotten. All right, so we know that the RFID chip will be able to store everything. from your medical to your criminal to your social, whatever it is, man. Your whole life will be on this chip. All right? Your whole life will be on this chip. And that's why it goes to grapho, the latter word. So it's going to be, like the first word is said, it's going to be karagma, a thing stamped and printed, engraved. And then karax, that's how the mark of the beast is going to be putting you through a pail of steak, a needle syringe. And then it goes back to grapho, which is a thing written down, committed to writings, things not to be forgotten, which represents the records that the RFID chip will be able to hold. That's how we know what the mark of the beast is, the RFID chip. And only way you will be able to understand this is if Yahawashi gave you the understanding. That's the only way you're going to be able to understand this. All right? So, when we're going back to the thing, going back to the verse, all right? Let me go back. So, the mark, what is the mark? If it's not the RFID chip, what is the mark? That's the question of vocab. And verse 18 says, here is wisdom. Let him understand and count the number of the beast, for his number is of a man, and his number is 603, which we know that represents 666. Now, as you see on the screen I got right here, the mark of the beast 666 technology is here. The UPC, which represents the Universal Practical Code, the UPC of the RFID chip, which is the same barcode that when you swipe your hand under whatever device, it'll be able to read it through the UPC, the Universal Barcode. Now we broke this down. The first two lines is a 6, the middle line is a 6, and the latter long lines is a 6, which is 666. All right. Now I've ran into a guy who he creates barcodes for product. He actually creates the barcode. This barcode I'm circling on the screen. He creates these numbers in this little whatever it is, man. This little bars of numbers. He told me how he just makes up numbers, but he has to remember them. But these lines, all the thickness of the line shows you what number it is. The thickness that's in these lines shows you what number it is, which is like a Morse code. Now, it always will have the 2 long lines in the front, the 2 long lines in the middle, and the 2 long lines at the end, which always equals 666, man. Always. So that's how the latter part of Revelation 13 fits in. The mark fits in with the 666. All fits in being the RFID chip. The mark of the beast being the RFID chip. All right? Now I said they're going to put it in your right hand. Because we Google it, these scientists and all these different biohacking engineers said that the most energy that your body produces literally in your right hand. Right here you see is this guy going in. The most of your body produces energy is in your right hand and in your forehead. All right? And in your forehead, which is by your brain. And we know that they through movies, through all type of articles and everything, this goddamn devil wants to put a chip in your brain right along with your hand, as you see on the screen. All right? That's in the head right there. Trying to put a chip all up in there. You know? So you know, when you know the truth and you ask a person a question like, what is the mark of the beast? And you're gonna show them that they don't know, that you're gonna prove that the Heavenly Father, the God of the Bible, ain't with them. Because if they had the truth, they're gonna be like, well, it's the RFID chip. And then they'll be able to break it down like you see brethren around the world. They're going to be able to go in the scriptures, go in the Greek. It'll all make sense. See, Vocab Malone ain't going to be able to explain that. He's not going to look. Listen on this page. He ain't got no response videos. He's not going to do a response videos because he's going to lose. He know he already lost. He know we had the truth, and he just set up opposition. So check it out. When we go right here in the same verse, and you go down to what the forehead is, when it says in their foreheads, it goes back to the Strong's Greek, 3,359. And it says metaphon. All right? And it goes back to meta. It says the space between the eyes, the forehead, which is your brain. Your brain is up there. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. I found what I did. I remember a brother showed this a minute ago, and I've brought this out before. I'm going into it again. It was a doctor called Jose Miguel Rodriguez Delgado. This guy right here you see on the screen. This dude. This goddamn Spaniard. You see this guy right here? This dude right here, going back to the middle, the early 1900s, going back to the early 1900s, this guy was fully locked on and set on learning how to control people through technology, control minds, control the brain through technology and implants, etc. As you can see, the little imagery. See this monkey? That's all his work. Now, this guy's lifelong work was used. This dude's lifelong work will be used during the time, or would be used with the RFID chip implantments, man. So let's go right here to I Wikipedia this guy. Let's go right here to this Wikipedia and let's see what this guy was getting into. And I'm gonna show you some video clips as well. It says Jose Miguel Rodriguez Delgado. It says was a Spanish professor of psychology. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If I'm not, it don't matter. You can Google it. But it says psychology is the scientific study of functions and mechanics which work within a living system. A human is a living system. The study of the functions of a living system. A human is a living system. This guy dedicated his life to this. It says was a Spanish professor at Yale University, famed for his research on mind control through electrical stimulation of the brain. That RFID chip will be able to control your mind and your thoughts. All right, now let me show you further down in this guy's Wikipedia. Let me show you what this dude was into and how Esau is taking this same technology and putting it in an RFID chip, and it will control you, man. It's going to control your thoughts and your emotions. All right? It says in 1946, Rodriguez Delgado won a fellowship at Yale University in the Department of Psychology under the direction of John F. Fluton. In 1950, Rodrigo Delgado accepted a position in psychology department, which at the time was handed by John Fluton. By 1952, he had co-authored his first paper on implanting electrodes into humans. See what this guy was into? All right. It says, let me jump down. I'm going to jump down. It says, when you jump down to where it says research at, it says Rodriguez Delgado research interest is centered on the use of electrical signals to invoke response in the brain. His earliest work was with cats, but later he did experiments on monkeys and humans including psychiatric patients. You see what this guy was into? How could we control the humans or animals or any living creature through electrical signals to the brain? Now, what electrical signal was used? We're going to get that. We're going to get what electrical signal was used through this guy. All right, so let me jump down because I don't want to read all this. Look, the next verse over. It says, much of Rodriguez Delgado's work was within an invention he called the stemoceiver, a radio which joined the stimulator of brain waves with a receiver which monitor EEG. What's that? Oh, I don't even know how to say that word. It says it's whatever word that is, electroencephalography. I don't know. EEG is a electrical psychological monitoring method to record electrical activities on the brain. So he created a device called the stemoceiver, which records your brain waves and writes it down on a graph. All right, and then it says, some of these things. All right, that's pretty much it right there. So the way he was doing it, he was using radio waves. That's how he did it. RFID chip, RFID, the acronym RFID represents radio frequency identification. The same technology that this guy Rodrigo Delgado was using was radio frequencies, man. Which is the same technology of the RFID chip. It's used through radio frequency. All right? That's why it's so important not to take the RFID chip. Because basically, you're allowing the Edomites, the white race, to rule over you, to be your God. The scripture tell you that the Most High is the one that directeth men's steps. All right? And scriptures say a man may devise his way, but the Most High directeth his steps. See? Esau, the so-called white man, trying to play God. We know that according to 2 Thessalonians. It says he's sitting in the seat of God, acting as if he were God. So this dude, Rodrigo, this Spaniard, this Edomite Rodrigo Delgado, was all into this in the 1950s of trying to control minds through radio frequencies, man. And he created a device called the Stemo receiver. The Stemo receiver, man. And he was controlling humans and everything else. So how much more are we in 2019? And we dealing with the RFID chip technology on a uprise. These people are going to take that chip and they're going to be controlled. All right, so jumping down to right here. It says the stemoceiver could be used to stimulate emotions and control behavior. These elites want complete control. So this Revelations verse, this is a real heavy verse. That's why it's so crucial not to take the RFID chip. This is a heavy verse right here. Because it's written on papers, you just see words, but the actions behind these words, and you see what this Edomite, the so-called white man, is into. Oh yeah, he's trying to control you, man. It says, the Stemo receiver could be used to stimulate emotions and control behavior. According to Rodrigo Delgado, radio stimulation of different points is a amygdala of hippocampus, and the four patients produced a variety of effects, including pleasant sensation, elation, deep, thoughtful concentration, odd feelings, super relaxation, color visions, and other responses. So they was able to use these radio waves to stimulate these different responses in humans, man. Animals and humans. It says Rodrigo Delgado stated that brain transmitters can remain in a person's head for life. The energy to activate the brain stimulator is translated by way of radio frequency. See? You can't be making this up. This is true. The mark of the beast is the RFID chip. RFID stands for radio frequency identification. This guy, Rodrigo Delgado, this guy been into trying to control minds through radio waves since the early 1900s. And he was funded by the Yale University to be able to do his projects and experiments. All right? That's how we know. Look, check the next verse out. That's how we know what the mark of the beast is, and we understand the depth and the deepness of it. It even this mark even has this year has even been titled after this mark. The year of the Karagma. Check out the next paragraph. It says, using the STIMO receiver, Rodriguez Delgado found that he could not only elicit emotions. The word elicit means to draw out, to draw forth or draw out. He could not only draw out emotions, but he could also elicit or draw out specific physical reactions. So he could control you. He not only could pull up an emotion on you, he could control your physical reactions. You know? Look, it says these specific physical reactions, such as movement of a limb or clenching of a fist, were achieved when Rodrigo Delgado stimulated the motor cortex. I believe that's in your brain. It says a human whose implants were stimulated to produce a reaction were unable to resist the reaction, and so one patient said, "I guess, doctor, that your electricity is stronger than my will." Oh, snap. Woo, that was heavy. I didn't even read this part. I just ran across this part as I was reading. This dude, electricity, when he was doing it on a patient, it clearly just said that the patient said, "Oh, shit." He said, "I guess, doctor, that your electricity is stronger than my will." And that's quotation marks, meaning that this sentence said was word for word out of the patient's mouth. His electricity was stronger than the patient's will. So if the patient didn't want his hand in a fist, he couldn't take it out of the fist when Rodrigo had that stimulator implanted into his brain using radio frequency, RFID chip. We not making this up. That was heavy, man. So this dude, Rodrigo Delgado, was able to accomplish controlling a person's brain, emotional, and physical reactions. Back in the 1900s. We're in 2019, man. Like the apostles went into, we're in a quantum age where every 12 minutes knowledge is increasing. You know, times 4. Quadruple, quad is 4. You ever hear somebody say, I'm gonna go drive my quad? That's a 4-wheeler, man. So every 12 minutes, knowledge have increased it since this guy figured this out in the early 1900s. And now we're in 2019. This RFID chip will be able to control you, man. Through radio frequencies. Why you think they put 5G everywhere? Now check it out. This is the video I have here. This is the video of what this dude was able to accomplish on animals. Let's play him.
Electronic mind control research is not new. A scientific milestone in this area came in the 1960s when Dr. Jose Delgado demonstrated remote control over a charging bull. By connecting a radio antenna to electrodes inserted into the bull's brain, Delgado proved that the animal's aggressive impulses could be thwarted by electronically manipulating the bull's muscle reflexes.
Do you realize the fantastic possibilities?
See, so what this guy did, he put them electrodes, the STEMO receiver in this bull's brain, and he was able to control the bull's strike. As you can see going back, the bull couldn't, it was coming towards the guy, but it couldn't finish the strike.
Research is not new. A scientific milestone in this area came in the 1960s when Dr. Jose Delgado demonstrated remote control over a charging bull. By connecting a radio antenna to electrodes inserted into the bull's brain, Delgado proved that the animal's aggressive impulses could be thwarted by electronically manipulating the bull's muscle reflexes.
Stopped.
Do you realize the fantastic possibilities if from the outside we could modify the inside? Could we give messages to the inside? But the beauty is that now we are not using electrodes.
In recent years, Delgado has shown that the behavior of monkeys can be altered using low-power, pulsating magnetic fields. But in these experiments, there were no antenna implants.
Any function in the brain, emotions, intellect, personality, well, could be perhaps modified by this non-invasive technology.
Delgado's research has so far been limited to animals. But in the Soviet Union, a radio frequency, or RF device, has been used for over 30 years to manipulate the moods of mental patients.
So, brothers, we're in 2019. This was in the early 1900s. This Edomite has been perfected this. That RFID chip will be able to control your mind, man. That's why it's so detrimental if you take it. Now, this is a picture of the STEMO receiver he put in fucking brains. Now, that whatever the hell that shit is, he putting on top of the monkey's head. Now, you ain't got to have all that. You know what they have now? This is what they didn't perfected it to. All of that shit that dude had is now inside this little thing. This little RFID chip. Size of a grain of rice. Man, we ain't making this up, man. This is the truth. You take that chip, you doomed. You're done. You're going to be controlled. All right. So, next chapter over. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 says, "And the third angel followed, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in the image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink the wrath of the Most High." You receive the RFID chip in your brain or in your hand, you're going to receive, you're going to drink the wrath of the Most High. You want the Edomites to control over you? You want to be full out fledged for the system of the beast? The Most High going to pour his wrath upon you. It said, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, meaning that he gonna go hard. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Meaning that the Lord going to destroy you through nuclear destruction. Because that's the end all be all for this side. You know? You're going to be destroyed. So a lot of people going to take the RFID chip thinking they doing good until they see the missiles coming. And you're going to be destroyed before the angels, the actual angels on the earth, which is the prophets, the messengers, and in the presence of the Lamb, which is the Lord Yahawashi. So, Vocab Malone, what is the mark of the beast? Where's your responses at, man? This is something important. All right? Which we know he ain't going to give an answer because he suck. And he ain't, Yahawashi ain't dealing with this dude. Hey, but that pretty much been it, man. I just wanted to tag that right there through spirit and power. Yahawashi. I hope you brothers was edified out there, man. Stay up, Akim. Don't take the RFID chip. Trust in Yahawashi. Shalom, Akim. Stay up. Shalawam.